He suggested the Sandy Hook school shooting was a hoax and that the September 11th terror attacks were an inside job by the government. I'm talking about Alex Jones. He is the founder of InfoWars, and he is now feeling the heat himself. YouTube, Facebook, and Apple all announcing they're removing his content from their platforms. Here's how YouTube explained its decision. Quote, when users violate policies repeatedly, like our policies against hate speech and harassment or our terms prohibiting circumvention of our enforcement measures, we terminate their accounts. With me now, CNN Money's senior media reporter Oliver Darcy, and you were just saying to me you were surprised that they took this kind of action so swiftly.
Yeah, this happened very quickly over the past 24 hours. It seems to really have been prompted perhaps by Apple. Apple last night removed the entire library of Alex Jones's podcasts from their store. And then we've seen throughout the day actually, tech platforms just basically remove Alex Jones from their websites. After Apple removed the podcast, then Facebook came out this morning, and actually really early in the morning, and they said that they had unpublished InfoWars and other pages associated with Alex Jones.
Yeah.
And then YouTube, which had previously issued some sort of suspension effectively where they couldn't live stream, decided to remove their YouTube page altogether. And now we're just kind of seeing other tech platforms, small ones even, just dissociate with Alex Jones.
I think if you've listened to me for very long, you know exactly how I feel about Alex Jones. I don't like Alex Jones. I think Alex Jones is a dangerous man. I think Alex Jones has, I think there's a possibility in listening to him that he has a serious, some sort of mental condition. That he's over the edge, in my opinion.
You could say without the millions of dollars, Alex Jones is the guy on the corner with the megaphone. The problem with that analysis is that with the millions of dollars, he's the guy on the corner with the megaphone.
Correct. Okay, so now people have been suing him, and I think, rightfully so, if, they've been slandered or libeled and some of the stuff he's done has just been despicable. I mean, a celebration in some regard for, common decency. However, a very sad day for freedom of speech.
But internally, when I've ever been asked by people in digital media, well, what do you make of the Alex Jones of the world, the right wing of the world? It's a tough problem because on the one hand, they're so over the top and appear to be harassing people. On the other hand, we got to protect people's rights in terms of being able to speak, even if it's not a governmental issue, as a matter of policy. And I have leaned on the side of, and some people on the left might take this out of context, of defending the right wing. Because independent media is so important. I don't want to go back to a world of gatekeepers, and I don't want to go back to a world where the only things that you're allowed to say is how honorable the politicians are and how we need to have bipartisan agreement in Washington about how they're going to rob us blind, etc. So if we're just talking about right wing attacking the left, Democrats have at it, Hoss, but even progressives as a category. I mean, you know that the right wing has done that for decades now. Libtards, feminazis, etc.
Yeah, who cares about that? That's not what we're having a conversation about.
No, I know, and that's why I'm being really careful here to make sure people understand where we stand, because the right wing and the Alex Jones supporters, etc., will twist things, right? Yeah. And they will pretend, they'll create a straw man argument pretending they're against right wing speech. No, I am in favor of protecting right wing, left wing, any kind of speech along those lines. The issues come into play when it gets to two things. One is hate speech and the other is harassment. I will probably have a different standard than everybody's got their own standard, but then YouTube and Facebook will have. I don't necessarily think that hate speech should be regulated. So now a lot of people will disagree with that. Now, we fight against hate speech every single day. That's part and parcel of what we do. Leave that job to us. We will win that battle, and we'll win in the free marketplace of ideas. When it comes to harassment, to me, that's a totally different issue. When you attack the Sandy Hook parents, and you talk about how
they're actors,
and they live here, and you should go find them. And the Posners that are suing Alex Jones had to move 7 times. Their 6-year-old son was murdered, and then they are harassed all throughout the country by followers of this maniac.
A woman who is an Alex Jones viewer was sentenced to 5 months in prison because she was harassing the Posner. She was convinced because of Alex Jones that these people are crisis actors, that it was all a false flag operation by the government in order to take guns away from Americans. I mean, that's the kind of nonsense this guy spews on his show on a regular basis. I will never stand up for that kind of speech. You want to hate on liberals, have at it. You want to hate on me specifically, have at it. But if you're going to spew defamatory BS and encourage people to harass individuals who have already been victimized, they just lost their 6-year-old son. You're gonna encourage them to go after these people and harass them? No, I'm not gonna protect that. And I'm happy that these platforms finally have enough of a backbone to do something about it. Because conservatives have made a whole profitable industry out of this, right? Oh, we care about free speech so much, only when it's convenient for us, right? Like we don't care about free speech on the left. But like they want to make themselves the victims. They've made a lot of money off of that, and I'm sick of it. No more patty cakes, no more defending this nonsense. This is not protected speech on a federal level, and it certainly shouldn't be protected speech when it comes to these private businesses.